Hey guys, good morning. Happy coffee talk. It's Saturday. I don't always do coffee talk on Saturday, but when I do, it feels like bonus time with you, and I love it. Today's coffee is in this Polish pottery mug. I'm a big fan of this mug. It's huge. I don't drink from a huge mug always because then my coffee gets cold faster and then I have to dump it out more. And if you know me, I actually don't drink lukewarm coffee ever. Coffee for me has to be hot, hot, or cold, cold. There's no in between. So even if I get cold coffee that's filled with ice and it gets like room temperature, bleh, will not drink it. I need it to be cold, cold, or hot, hot. I don't know if that's you. But big mugs, the only downside is it does tend to take longer to drink and then it gets cooler. I don't know. I know that's weird. So anyways, I'm drinking Black Rifle coffee. It's pretty solid and I am just getting stuff done this morning. And I was doing some catch up on the week and figured let's record a coffee talk episode because maybe this would be helpful for you. But before we dive into the topic, I want to give you a really cool opportunity. So I am opening up a 28-day coaching group with me that starts in just about a week. Now, the point of this group is to give you some coaching around nutrition and exercise. I'm going to give you some structure. How it works is at the end of next week, we're going to do a goal setting call. You're going to do that call with me. We're going to talk about what you are going to accomplish over that 28 days. We're going to make a game plan. You're going to have it put for you in the FitMe app. You're going to have a workout plan. You're going to have nutrition targets. You're going to have everything you need in there. And then we are going to have a follow-up accountability call later in the month where we will talk about how things are going, make adjustments, and make a game plan for moving forward. So this is a 28-day coaching experience. You are actually going to be coached for 28 days. And so if you are interested in that group, I have 19 spots available because I only have a limited amount of time on my calendar. And so I will be coaching you. There's going to be another Fit Me coach who's helping to support you. And really the point of it is to help you see progress in 28 days. So if your goal is weight loss, if your goal is getting more energy, if you want to get more toned, if you want to start building some momentum and you need like a digestible bite, you guys know me, I like doing things in doable steps. Instead of thinking about eternity and how long it's going to take you to get to your goals, I just would rather you think about what are you going to do in the next 28 days? Like let's accomplish that together over the month of like the end of March into April and start to see some meaningful progress. So typically if your goal is weight loss, you could expect to lose, between 4 to 6 pounds in 28 days. I'm not promising you 50 pounds. That's crazy. That's not good for you. But 4 to 6 pounds is a lot. And if your goal is energy, if your goal is get consistency, if your goal is mindset stuff, we're going to hit all of that. And so anyways, I would love to help you. And I only have 19 spots available. So I'm going to put the link in the bio, the show notes, everywhere. If you did muscles and movement, this is a perfect next step. If you got consistent with workouts and exercise, then now we need to tackle nutrition to put the pieces together and give you what you need to move forward. So don't sleep on this. Again, it's 19 spots, and I only am going to leave this open for the next 4 days to sign up. And so if you want to do it, sign up today. So let's get into coffee talk topic today, which is, we talked about brick method earlier in the week. Remember I was telling you about consistency around it versus all or nothing, right? We like to be all or nothing, but if we actually follow the brick method or the quote consistency method, then we see better results. And I proved it to you with math. I'm not a mathematician, but I can show you 100% certainty why that works better. So if you missed that episode, go back, look for the brick method episode. It's worth a listen. But today is a little bit different because what I want to talk about is the belief system around consistency. And when we say I am struggling with being consistent, because I hear this constantly. In fact, I created the entire Muscles and Movement Challenge around the idea that people feel like they struggle with being consistent. I'm not consistent with my workouts. I struggle with consistency. I fall off when life happens. I have a hard time getting back on. I don't know how to make myself do it, and so on and so forth. But what I want to point out to you is that I bet that you actually don't struggle with consistency. I don't think consistency is the problem because I would bet that you are consistently doing something, maybe multiple things. You are pretty consistent about certain things because humans are creatures of habit. I strongly doubt that you are living random days. Every day is random. Maybe I would love to meet you. But for the most part, you are doing many things consistently. I bet you're waking up consistently in the ballpark same time. I bet you getting dressed consistently in the ballpark same way. I bet your breakfast, whether or you skip breakfast, is fairly consistent. I think you showing up to work is probably consistent. I think that you taking care of your pets, your dogs, your animals, your kids, your bills, You probably do those pretty consistently. And whatever routines you have in the afternoon and evening, probably pretty consistent in some way or another. You actually don't have a problem with consistency at all. You know how to be consistent. So I want to throw that out the window so that we stop saying it. You don't have a problem with consistency. That's not the problem. And I think when we focus on the thing being the wrong problem, we struggle with it. And so even in muscles and movement, everyone tells me like, oh, I have this trouble being consistent with workouts and movement. But the things that I'm teaching aren't giving you some magic switch to being consistent. I'm actually teaching you strategies that utilize ways that you're consistent in other areas of your life and applying it to workouts and exercise. And so there's no trick to it. I'm actually just helping you translate the strategies that create success in other places in your life and crossing them over into taking better care of yourself. Because what you do struggle with is taking care of yourself. What you do struggle with is prioritizing yourself. What you do struggle with is saying no and not obligating yourself to everything under the sun. Those are the things you struggle with. And so when I talk about consistency, and even in muscles and movement, we spent the first 3 days learning the Fit Me method to create consistency. But what I was teaching you is stuff you already know how to do. I mean, I basically showed everybody, hey, we're going to put this in your calendar. Guess what? You put other things in your calendar. No surprise here that this is one of the strategies to create workout and movement in your regular week would be to take what's working somewhere else and apply it to this, and putting things in your calendar is one of those things. The second strategy that I taught is accountability. You use accountability all over the place in your life. I mean, you have deadlines on your bills, you have deadlines at work, you have a supervisor, if you took classes at school, you have accountability, you have a game plan for the semester. You use accountability all over the place. If you're a mom, you create accountability for your kids. You're like, hey, I want you to clean your room. I'm back at 2:00. I'm going to check to make sure you clean your room. Boom. You know how to use accountability. All you need to do is apply that into workouts and exercise, and then all of a sudden you are doing them. So you find and create accountability for yourself, whether that's an accountability buddy, whether that's having a plan, whether that's having a coach. There's multiple ways to create accountability, but that's how you do it. And last but not least is we don't rely on motivation, like the feeling of like, I need to be inspired to do this to actually create consistency. In fact, that's not going to work because you don't use that anywhere else in your life to follow through on important things. You're not feeling inspired to take your kid to the pediatrician. You're not feeling inspired to pay your bills or follow through on your work assignment or whatever it is. You just do it because it needs to be done. And so sometimes in the workout and movement category, I like to teach people to play little, mental tricks that create action. So when we're pushing back against ourselves and we're saying like, I don't feel motivated, we just take a small, easy action and then we get out of our own way and then we can do the thing. Because again, we can wrap our heads around doing an easy action, but we maybe not can wrap our heads around the idea of doing something epic. And that's why I was telling you about the 28-day group. Like we have these big goals. Maybe you want to lose 30, 40, 50 pounds. Maybe you want to get significantly stronger, get your first pull up, whatever it is. And you think about that big goal and it can feel like, well, I'm never going to start because I need to have X, Y, and Z in place so that I can be consistent. Typically, no, you just need to make a decision to start that sooner than later. And that way you can do it now. So you don't have to think about forever. You just need to think about the next 28 days. What does that look like? So the next 28 days is a manageable bite. And if you put that smaller into the course of your day and you're like, I want to make my day and do something that's a manageable bite, instead of thinking about, I've got to do this hour workout class, you can just think, well, maybe if I put on my workout clothes, that's all I need to do. I just need to put on my workout clothes. And then I can figure out the next step. So anyways, those things are what I taught in Muscles and Movement to how to create consistency, quote, consistency in your workouts and exercise. But really, I wasn't teaching anything earth shattering. Again, like these are things that you already use in other places of your life. You do. You find easy actions to move yourself forward. You use your calendar. You use accountability. These are strategies that help you be successful. So we just need to apply them to this. And so you do not have a consistency problem. Again, maybe there's somebody out there that does. I'm guessing it's probably not you because I know you're consistent in other places. So instead, here's your two things. One, we need to take the strategies that work in other parts of our life. You have been successful in other places. Maybe you graduated college, maybe you graduated high school, maybe you got a credential or a certification. Maybe you're a really incredible mom and your life is organized around that. Maybe you are an incredible leader or teacher or whatever. You use strategies to create those successes. That is not an accident. When someone is like, how are you such an amazing teacher? Did you just get born this way? You're like, no. I went to school, I studied, I spent some time at night doing my lesson plans. I think about the kids, I mapped out the semester. I do all of this stuff so that it helps me show up in class the same way. And when I'm not feeling good, I do X, Y, and Z so I can get my head in the game and I can show up my best for my kids. There are specific things that you do that you could take and give to someone and say, you can be a great teacher too if only you do these things. But they think that you were just born that way. You know you're putting in the work. And the things that you're doing to put in the work are creating the success. Being in a fit and healthy body, a healthy body weight, a strong, capable body that can do things, and being able to access the life you want is exactly the same. This is not a thing that you just poof get. It's something that you put in the work by using strategies. So you already know what strategies work for you. I just want you to translate them over into this because, again, you do not have a consistency problem. So here's my thought for you. I want you to pick. Let's make this really practical. I want you to think about in your life, where are the categories that you feel most successful? That if somebody who is on the outside would ask you. It could be finances, right? Maybe you're really good at money. You've been good at saving money. You're good at investing money, whatever. It could be literally anything. Where are you successful? And then think about what are the strategies that you use to create that success. If you had to teach it to somebody else, what would it be? But not the specifics, the strategies, right? Whether it's planning, organization, calendar, research, homework, whatever, accountability, follow through, whatever, designating time in your week, whatever those things are. So the actual strategies that you use to create that, not the thing, not a put the money in the bank, right? Then I want you to think about how you could take one or two of those strategies and apply it to your nutrition or your exercise. That's it. That's your homework from Coffee Talk. That is your Saturday homework to be successful. So hopefully this episode was helpful. I would love to hear from you. So if you follow me on Instagram at Christy May Campbell and you send me a DM, I will write you back. I promise you. I don't have some giant following. You're not going to get lost. I want to get to know you if these episodes are helpful. I want to connect with you about them. And so let's do that. Follow me on Instagram at Christy May Campbell. And then I will shoot you a message and say, hey, and then let me know if you listen to this episode or a different one or whatever, however you connected with me. And I'd love to learn a little bit more about you. So don't forget about the 28-day group. If that is something you need, if you would like to be coached by me and another Fit Me coach for the next 28 days so that you can get your nutrition in order, you can be consistent with your workouts and exercise, not because I'm going to give you magic fairy dust, but because I'm going to put strategies in place to help you be consistent. I'm going to give you coaching, accountability, a plan, a system. You are going to have the things to be successful over the next 28 days, then snag one of my 19 spots. They're going to go quick, so I want you to have one if you want one. So thanks as always for plugging into Coffee Talk. If you haven't done so, subscribe to Fit Me Coffee Talk on your favorite podcast platform. And if you're not a part of our Facebook group yet, you know what to do. Go to Facebook, search Fit Me Community, request to join the group, and I will add you there. Take care. Bye.